Alright, so we have this all completed. Now we're going to go ahead and extrude this out. So let's do Control E. Immediately goes black, and then I'm going to pull that away. Now we don't want it to be doing this. Okay, that's because it's got the grid snap on. That was really crazy. So let's go ahead and pull that out again. Something that is useful. Okay. Something like that will work just fine. Maybe a little bit more. Okay. Okay, so there we go. And there's our piece that we have all completely finished. Again, you know, it's up to you how you want it to look. You can have a little artistic freedom, but I'd really prefer that you try to go as close to this as you possibly can to the original. And we're very, very close to that. Okay. Not happy with this though. This looks a little bit strange. So let's move this up a little bit so we get that piece up there. Maybe move this back a little bit. Whoops. Alright, so, whoops. I'm really messing things up here. Alright, so I think what I'll probably do is just pull this more square. What is happening here? Oh, that live thing is still on. There we go. Awesome. Great. There we go. Okay, that's good. Alright, so there we go. We got that little piece right there. Alright, and we still got quadrangles. Perfect. Alright. So with this, to finish this, let's go ahead and close. Let's turn off the wireframe unshaded. You can see that we got lots of faceting here. So what does that mean? That means you can see all the little, you know, breaks that we have in here. How do you fix that? Well, fastest way is go to edge mode, select the whole thing. Okay, we want to soften that edge or smooth that edge. So hold down spacebar, go to mesh display, go to soften edge. Okay, but that causes problems for the inside. You see though, you see that black area. That's called a preview error. It doesn't know how to handle 90-degree angles. When you say to soften a 90-degree angle, it doesn't really know what to do with that. So what we have to do is we have to harden those edges by just double-clicking and selecting the whole edge around these areas. Okay, right? So just do that. Okay. And sometimes you can't get rid of the black areas even though you do this. So now I'm going to go into, hold the space bar down and go to mesh display and go to harden edge. And notice that it fixed that, but then it still smoothed out these areas, which is nice. This is what I want. Okay, so those areas are still smoothed out. Okay, cool. And then we need to smooth these edges here, or not smooth, but harden these corners over here. They're still not. Still didn't get those. Here we go. Get these over here. Just some things we need to fix. There we go. And anything else you see we need to fix, go ahead and get those fixed too as well. There we go. Maybe these two. Alright, so go ahead and do the harden edge on those. There we go. Okay, so we're just about there. Looks good. Alright, save your work. And I think we're good with that piece. The next piece will be a cylinder. Let's get that handle back in there, that grip. Medium grip, there we go. So there's our grip, just kind of double checking everything. That looks really good. And then let's go ahead and create a cylinder. There we go. And with the cylinder, we are going to create a couple subdivisions in the center. So let's go click on this, and we're going to keep it at I think 20 is good. I could probably go lower and then smooth it. That might be a good thing to do. Let's go to 10. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that'll work. So 1, 2, 3, yeah. Alright, so we can do divisions in the caps. Let's do 4 of those, because we want to create those rings in there. 1 ring, 2 ring. Let's do, how many rings have we got? 1, 2. So we got on the outside 1 and then 2. That would probably work. 1, 2, and then we have 3 in the center. Both caps, that's good. Alright, that'll work. I think this will be good. Give that a shot. Let me do 1 more ring in here. Let's do, it's always good to have more. We can always take some out. Let's do 6 on there. There we go. And that's going to work just fine. Alright, so let's go in there and let's take the bottom off. There we go. So we just have the top. Okay. Alright. And let's go ahead and rotate that. And that's not how I want it to rotate, so I'm going to click on pivot, move the pivot to the center of the object. Let's go ahead and type in -90 on there, and let's go ahead and move this into place on this section right here. Okay, alright, so that's great. Move that section there, and let's go ahead and scale that in until we get the scale we want. Okay. We're going to make about the scale that we see here, just so we can fit it in there. There we go, like that. Okay, so okay, I think that's pretty good. Alright. And I'm going to make some adjustments to this guy here. Go to this mode right here. I'm going to move this one up and this one over here like that. And you can see that we have everything looking good. That just needs to be pushed out here. There we go. To the surface. That looks good. Pretty close. Okay, we're going to take this guy, I'm going to go to the face mode, and we're going to delete that face right there. Okay. And we're going to take this guy right here, okay, and we are going to go ahead and extrude that piece out. Now I might want to do some more movement in this. Let me rotate. I guess I'm okay with that. Alright. I guess I can use the bend tool later if I need to. Right. I think that's good. Can Control E and move that out like that. Kind of match those two together. Okay. There we go. Okay, I'm going to turn wireframe unshaded again so I can see it. Okay, those two. It's a little bit thick. Okay. Which is fine. I think I want that a little bit thicker, but let's go ahead and delete this face as well. And normally I don't really care whether these are together or separate, but this instance I kind of want to do that. So we're going to use target weld. So to get that done, I'm going to go to selection mode, object mode, and select both of these together and combine them. Okay, you can either click on this icon up here, or you can go into mesh combine. Okay, so now they're combined. Now we can go into hold the shift and the right mouse button, go to target weld, and I'm going to click on the innermost one. It's going to be a little easier. So click on that guy and then hold down your left mouse button and just snap it over. Okay. And I'm not seeing this other point, but I know it's there. So what I'll do, hit the 4 key, click on it, and snap it. There we go. Then hit the 5 key again. You can see I did the right thing. And then click on this one and then weld it. And then click on this one and then weld. And then when you're done, hit the Q key. Make sure you hit the Q key. So that's all one piece now. Cool. Awesome. Good. Alright, so a couple things. We need to save our work. Now that we're doing more intricate stuff, we're going to go ahead and save our work. File, save scene as. And this will be weapon 26. There we go. Okay, continue. Looking good so far. Like it. Excellent. So now we're going to go into what's happening with the trigger. I think I'm just going. I don't know what's happening here. So I'm going to do what I'm interpreting is that I think there might be something going across, and then let's go ahead and click on the low poly and get that back in there. It's almost like it's going around and connecting to this somehow, and that's okay, but that needs to be that needs to be scaled down a little bit more so we can kind of see inside. But that looks pretty good. I like what we have so far. Okay, this probably doesn't even have to be as thick either. Like if I hit the 3 key, that's going to thin out anyway, right? And it looks pretty good as is, but we'll tighten up the edges a little bit more. Hello, back again. Hi, I'm Jeff Byers. I'm an instructor for ANY 150. This is Module 3, and this is modeling a sci-fi weapon. Part 11. Hard to believe that we're on part 11. It takes a long time. That's all there is to it. So we're going to really focus on this piece right here. So let's go to select a piece and go to Control 1. Isolate it. Oh, we need to Control 1 and make sure that we select the background image as well, if we can. Background, where are you? So if that doesn't select, you can go into Windows, Outliner, and find your background. There it is, and select that. And just select your piece. Go into object mode. Alright, so what I found out is that you have to be in object. Even I forget. If you're in component mode, it won't select. If you're in object mode, it will select. So make sure you're in object mode, and you'll be able to select your background. There we go. Make sure they're both selected. Control 1. Okay, and then Control 1 on this. There we go. Okay, so the idea is using your side view and your front perspective view, you should be able to create this object here that you see here. So we've got 1, 2, 3 in a hole. So 1, 2, 3 in a hole. Okay. So triangles, I hate triangles, so I'm going to click on these triangles and delete them. There we go. Don't like them, don't want them. So what we need to do is select this guy right here, and we're going to slide so we can get a hole in there. We're going to slide that in, and then we'll slide the rest of these in and see what we can come up with here. So let's go ahead and hold the shift key and my right mouse button, slide edge tool, middle mouse, and slide that in. Again, I'm going to double click on that and just kind of get the idea of how we're going to do this. Okay. So we got 1, 2, and 3. So 1, 2, and 3. That'll work. So that's kind of what we have. That's close enough. Again, these guys back here won't even be used, but I'm just gonna leave them. I'm not too worried about it. Let's hit the 3 key and see if it. Yeah, it's fine. Go Control Z back. Whoa. There we go. Hit the 1 key. Alright, so face mode. So I'm going to go ahead and select these faces. And select these faces. Whoops. There we go. We're going to do that middle section last. So kind of get that idea there. And this is a little bit bigger, so I'm going to go back in here, double click on this, slide the edge back a little farther. There we go. Make it a little bit bigger. That'll work. That works out better. And so let's go ahead and, yeah, it looks like it did it okay. There we go. So now we're ready to go. Okay, making sure I don't have anything else selected. Control E. And let's move that out like that. Okay. And scale them in this way and this way. Let's go to the front view and kind of make sure we're scaling this right. I think I am. Control Z back. So you can see how you're doing it. If I click on the middle one, that might work better. Control Z back. Click on the middle one. It might work better for you. Let's go ahead and go to the perspective view. And we're going to move that back a little bit. Okay. There we go. If I hit the 3 key, it gives me those round pieces like you see, that detail that you see there. Okay. Again, I can go in here to the front view and scale that. Whoops. Will let me. Yeah. I got to click on that little cube on the outside, then I can scale those back in again and take a look at what we have. That might be a little better. Like that. There we go. Hit the 1 key to see where we're at. Okay, that looks good. I usually go back between hitting the 3 key and the 1 key just to kind of see how that looks from a distance. Let's take a look. Click off of it and go into object mode, and then turn off wireframe because it's hard to tell. There we go. That looks pretty good. As far as the detail goes, I do see that is a little bit thinner right in through here. Okay. Alright, and that's a little more defined right here. So let me click on this guy, hit the 1 key again. I'm going to go ahead and delete, just kind of go back and just do Control Z. Okay. And I'm going to make sure I didn't extrude that. Okay, that's good. Alright. And I'm going to go back in here to the edge. Okay. And I am going to go to slide edge tool and slide that closer like that. There we go. So now let's go back to edge or face. There we go. Control E, move it straight out. Okay, like that. Hit the 3 key. And we got a smaller space there. And that's kind of what I want. That's kind of what I want to see. I'm going to go back into selection mode, click off of it, and get yeah, that's better. So that's kind of what I'm looking for right there. Okay. Alright, that looks really good. Pretty happy with that. hit the 1 key. There we go. And so we need to set up the edge loops in here. So to do that, go back into object mode, and we're going to hold down the shift key and the right mouse button, go to insert edge loop. Alright, and insert edge loop here. We're not going to insert edge loop, we want those to be round. We're going to insert an edge loop here and here. It's hard to see, but you want to do the inside here as well, just on the bottom. Whoops. It's going to be very hard to do this. Get really close to it if you can, and get right close to the bottom edge right here. Okay. Alright, great. And then I'm going to do an edge right at the bottom here, and I'm going to do an edge right here, an edge right here. Okay, cool. Go to the next one here. You can see we got the edge in there. Let's do an edge right here, an edge right here, an edge right here. Let's make that a little softer there. I like that. And then this one, this edge will be really tight, like that. There we go. So be a little softer on that edge, even though that edge is going to be very, very strong. But this is way harder edge. Okay. So go into here and hit the 3 key. Okay, there we go. So now we got a really nice edge. This is softer right here. It's softer right here, and it's really hard right where it touches the object. Okay, so that's going to give us some nice looking reflection. See? You can see that nice reflection there. If you still think it's too hard right there, what you can do, go back into this mode, and you can double click on that edge, and it'll go all the way around, and you can actually go in there and soften that up even more. Okay, and to do that, you would do, yes, you guessed it, we're going to do the slide edge tool. So middle mouse button, slide that down about halfway, and you can see that that change that went all the way around. Okay, which is fine. Hit the 3 key. And you notice that we have a really soft edge there. Okay, is that too soft? I don't think so. I think that looks pretty good, actually. If you look at your gun, you got a nice soft edge there. At least that's what the concept artist gave us. Okay, this piece here's got nothing. It's like a piece of liquid, though. There's no hard edge at all. And if you're like, well, I kind of like between the two. Okay, then hit the 1 key again. Double click on the edge, okay, and just go between the two then, okay, and again move it back up again a little bit like that. Okay, so I'm going to add an edge right through here in this one. Same distance, same thing. Insert edge loop tool and insert that edge right there. Okay, about as close as we have with that other one. And then we're going to click on this guy right here, and that's going to be a lot tighter right there. There we go. Alright. Now do you want to keep these pieces tight here? You know, when you see pieces like this, you have to add an edge loop at the ends, right, to make this work. Otherwise it will fall apart. If I hit the 3 key, now you notice that keeps its shape. Okay. We can soften those edges again, you know, by not going so close. So I can soften the edge quite a bit, and then but still have a nice round part. So that can work to your advantage too as well. So again, you know, you get these pinches right there. See those pinches? That's something I don't like, and we've talked about how to get rid of those. Right, to fix that, you would go into edge loop, click on the edge loops, and we're going to separate this edge loop. This is too close right here, and this one's a little bit too close. So what you can do is you can move these edge loops to the side. I don't think we can on this one, but we might be able to. So let's go ahead and just select these 3 right here. So I'm going to go edge loop and just click on these 3, hit the Q key, these 3, okay, and I can move that over a little bit. That'll give us some room here. So I'm going to hold down the shift key and right mouse button, go to slide edge tool, and it's going to slide that edge over like that. Do the same thing with this guy over here. Okay. And hit the G key and slide that edge over. Okay. And same with this guy right here. G key, slide edge over, and so on and so forth. So you get the idea that we can slide that edge over and kind of space these things apart a little bit better than they are. And there's a point where you can't go any further, then you have to actually make geometry changes, but try not to do that. So there we go, we got some nice spacing. This one's got is a little bit wonky. Let's go in here and check that one out. Alright, and then hit the G key and spread that out. So the idea, you can spend quite a bit of time just tweaking things out to your liking. Okay, hit the 3 key now, and that's about the best we're going to get. We're going to get a little bit of it. And just keep tweaking until you get it. And this one's too soft right here. You get some soft spots here. And then look at other areas in your object, on your object, to see if you would like to tighten those areas up. So hit the 1 key again, go back to object mode, and we're going to go in here and insert an edge loop right here in the top part. There we go. And then one at the bottom here, one on the side. Okay. I didn't do that on the other one, so let's not do that. But one at the bottom is good. Do we want to do one on the sides? We didn't really do it on here. Other areas we'd like to harden the edge. We could cut across here, I guess, but we can't really do that. So I guess we're good for now. Okay. Hit the 1 key, and that is completely finished. So we can hit the Q key and then hit the 3 key. There we go. And let's take one last look at these. That's a lot better than it was. Okay, like that. Looks good. You look at the original here to what we have. That looks pretty good. Alright. Alright, so that part is done. And make sure you save your scene. And we'll continue working. And let's go ahead and open up the grip, the medium grip detail. And you can see that fits on there really nicely. And then we're going to work on, I think, the other pieces, the upper parts, the back pieces, and that's about all that's left of the gun. And just mirror it over, and we'll be done with the high poly. Alright, we'll see you in the next video.